The hardest battle in any war isn't fought with bullets, or tanks, or planes. It's not waged on the beaches, in the skies, or across the scorched earth of a foreign land. The most brutal, relentless, and decisive conflict happens in the 6 inches between your ears. It's the silent, grinding battle against the voice in your head that whispers, then shouts, "I can't do this anymore." It's the war against despair, against the crushing weight of exhaustion and fear, and the soldiers and civilians of World War II. They became unwilling masters of winning that internal battle. They didn't just endure, they engineered their endurance. They built a system, a psychological machine to keep the human spirit from breaking. We call it the endurance engine. This engine wasn't about being a superhero or possessing some innate, unbreakable will. It wasn't about ignoring the horror or pretending the fear wasn't real. It was the opposite. It was about acknowledging the immense pressure and then deploying a series of small, brilliant, and sometimes bizarre psychological tricks that kept the human spirit running, even on fumes. It was a toolkit for the soul, forged in the crucible of unimaginable stress. Today, we're cracking open that engine. We're going to deconstruct its 5 core principles, piece by piece, to understand how an entire generation faced the abyss and refused to fall in. This isn't just a history lesson, it's a masterclass in resilience. Principle 1, the next right thing protocol. Imagine you're that soldier. Your jeep is stuck. You're miles from base. It's getting dark, and enemy patrols are a constant threat. The sheer scale of your problem is paralyzing. The thought, "we're doomed," is a tidal wave of despair waiting to drown you. Overwhelm is a killer. It floods the brain's executive functions, leading to inaction, panic, or poor decisions. The solution, discovered through brutal necessity, was to radically shrink the focus. Don't think about winning the war. Don't think about getting back to base. Don't even think about getting the whole Jeep free. Just ask one question. What is the single next right thing I can do? The answer isn't free the Jeep. It's dig out the front left tire, or find a sturdy branch, or check the fuel line. It's a psychological funnel that takes an ocean of trouble and turns it into a manageable stream. You complete that one task, the tire is clear, a small victory, a tiny hit of dopamine. Then, and only then, do you ask again, what's the next right thing? Now it's place the branches. Then, try to engage the gear. This protocol transforms an insurmountable mountain into a series of small, climbable steps. It keeps you in the present moment, in the realm of action, preventing your mind from spiraling into the terrifying what-ifs of the future. It's a mental discipline that says, I will not be crushed by the whole. I will simply deal with the next piece. Principle 2, the morale multiplier. In a world defined by scarcity, deprivation, and uniformity, a tiny, seemingly insignificant luxury becomes a massive psychological victory. This is the morale multiplier effect. That perfect cup of coffee, brewed over a candle in a repurposed can, wasn't just about the caffeine, it was a ritual. It was a moment of warmth, of familiar aroma, a declaration that I am still a person who can create and enjoy something good. It was an act of defiance against the bleakness. Sharing a piece of chocolate in a shelter wasn't just about sustenance. It was an act of community and generosity that reaffirmed shared humanity in the face of dehumanizing chaos. And polishing your boots until you could see your face in them? That wasn't about appeasing a sergeant. It was about imposing pristine order on a tiny corner of a world consumed by chaos. It was a visual, tangible symbol of self-respect and discipline when everything else was falling apart. These weren't indulgences. They were essential maintenance for the soul. They were deliberate acts of living, not just surviving. Each small pleasure, each moment of personal care multiplied in value, providing an outsized return in morale and mental fortitude. It's the profound difference between merely existing through a crisis and actively living while you survive it. Principle 3, the body fuel loop. Mental and physical states are inextricably linked. When you're mentally drained, your body feels heavy, lethargic, and weak. And when your body is stagnant and dragging, your mind quits. It's a vicious downward spiral. The mind says, "I'm too tired," so the body stops moving. The motionless body then sends signals of fatigue and stagnation back to the brain, reinforcing the mental exhaustion. They broke this debilitating loop with a simple, powerful tool: motion. Not complex workouts, not bodybuilding, just deliberate physical movement. Simple calisthenics in a foxhole, squats on the deck of a rolling ship, a brisk, purposeful walk to check the perimeter. This wasn't about getting fit for a marathon, it was about generating immediate energy. The act of physical exertion, even for a few minutes, does something magical. It forces deeper breathing, pumping oxygen into the bloodstream and to the brain. It releases endorphins, the body's natural mood elevators and pain relievers. It breaks the pattern of lethargy. Motion creates emotion. You are literally, biochemically, pumping energy and optimism back into a system that is running on empty. It was a way to jumpstart the engine when the mental battery was dead, proving that even when your mind feels weak, your body can lead the way back to strength. Principle 4, the controlled worry system. You can't stop the tide of worries in a war, but you can learn to build canals to channel it. The human mind isn't designed for 24/7 high-alert anxiety. It burns out. The solution was to corral the fear. Many people, soldiers and civilians alike, instinctively turned to writing. Pouring anxieties into a diary or a letter home wasn't just communication. It was a process of externalization. It takes the formless, terrifying monster of fear inside your head and puts it onto a page, giving it shape and dimension. Once it's on the paper, it's outside of you. You can look at it, analyze it, and then literally close the book on it for a while. This was one form of compartmentalization. Another was temporal. By necessity, they learned to create mental boxes for their time. There was a time to be on watch, hypervigilant and focused on threat. But then, there was a time to eat your beans, and during that time, you focused only on the beans. A modern therapeutic version of this is scheduling a designated worry time. You give yourself a specific 15-minute window each day to consciously think about everything you're afraid of. When a worry pops up outside that window, you acknowledge it and tell yourself, "I will deal with you at 5 p.m. This contains the anxiety, preventing it from poisoning your entire day. It's a pragmatic agreement with your own mind that grants you periods of precious, well-deserved peace. The final component, the chassis on which the entire engine was built, the unbreakable routine. In a world where death could fall from the sky at any moment, where your entire reality was defined by total chaos, a simple, predictable routine becomes a powerful psychological anchor. It's a series of automatic actions that don't require willpower or complex thought, which are both in desperately short supply. Making your bed the exact same way every morning. Cleaning your weapon after every use. The ritual of morning roll call. The evening task of securing blackout curtains. These small, repeatable actions create a rhythm of normalcy in an insane world. They provide a sense of predictability when nothing else is predictable. This structure is profoundly comforting to the subconscious mind. It sends a constant underlying message. Despite the chaos outside, in this small space, we are still in control. There is an order. There is a process. Tomorrow will have a morning, and I will make my bed. It's the framework upon which you hang your endurance. It automates survival, saving your precious mental energy for the moments that truly demand it. So, the endurance engine wasn't magic. It wasn't a single grand strategy. It was a simple, brutal, and brilliant machine built from the sum of its parts. It was a commitment to small, manageable steps when the journey seemed impossible. It was the defiant pursuit of tiny joys in a world of sorrow. It was the wisdom to use the body to refuel the mind. It was the discipline to contain worry so it wouldn't consume you. And it was the unwavering adherence to routine as an anchor in a sea of chaos. The generation that survived World War II didn't defeat despair with a single heroic act of defiance. They outlasted it. They won by 1,000 small, disciplined, and profoundly human victories, repeated day after grueling day. They won by keeping their engine running, one piston stroke at a time, and that is a victory and a lesson that anyone can learn from.